Good evening, ladies, gents, and all good, wonderful people out there in the world. It is your hosts of the Wrestling Chair to Face Wrestling Podcast. Oh my God. Chair to Face Wrestling Podcast. I forgot the name of our own show. Wow. It is Tuesday. It's not Monday. Welcome to our podcast. There we go. I'm Chrissy. That's Chris. And we are on episode 7 of this exciting journey that we call wrestling. Lace up your boots.
Business may pick up here.
Get your chairs nice and comfy. Don't hit anybody with them. We are not reliable for any broken, damaged, or injured people. So, let us get started. How are we doing in the wrestling world? We got a lot going on. We had an exciting Monday Night Raw last night that we are going to get into. We had SmackDown that was also a very exciting night to get into, and Backlash. Backlash was really popping. That
Delivered.
I really think that that was the redeeming story that our past WrestleMania needed. So thank God for that. Anyway, so we're going to jump into another segment of Suplex City. No, Suplex Stupid. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
There we go. All right, God.
Wow, dude.
Bear with me here. Look, guys, my brain is fried, all right? We're trying here. We're staying above water, all right? So, Suplex Stupid. This is where we answer your stupid, dumb questions about wrestling, and they're not really stupid, dumb questions. You're inquiring, and that's great. Thank you for providing your comment.
No such thing as a stupid question in the wrestling world.
Amen, but there are stupid questions in real life. Like, do you work here and you're at Walmart? No,
Yeah.
ma'am, I don't work here. I just want produce. Leave me alone. So at 3Bro Skeeters 554, what is the most shocking heel turn of all time? Well, after doing some digging and some delving and some research and just from own experiences, what has come to mind, which I think has been on all of our tongues the past couple months, has been John Cena's heel turn. He turned on Cody Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber. No, not Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Elimination Chamber. Thank God. All right.
got it right. Trust yourself. Got it right.
All right. So this is a big shocker for a lot of us wrestling fans. Now, some of you probably weren't shocked at the fact that John Cena turned heel. The rest of us were kind of shocked. Some of us bawled our eyes out at the TV um, because they just didn't know how to handle all of those big human emotions. But you see, John Cena went from being a baby face and the face of WWE for over 20 years, and he just flips,
Yep.
flips the script after 20 plus years, talks trash about all of us fans. Um, so that was a shocker. Good question. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, so Cena is certainly up there. I think the two that I feel like will come to mind together now will be Cena and then Hogan at Bash at the Beach 96. That's the one that everybody, that's been like the default for years and years and years. When people talk about heel turns, oh, it's like Hogan. Now Cena, what he did with Cody at Chamber, I think it certainly has an argument. My personal, if you want to talk shock value alone, it's got to be Austin at WrestleMania 17, toasting with Mr. McMahon in the middle of the ring, selling his soul to McMahon after everything that Austin and McMahon had gone through at that point. I don't know that anyone saw that coming. Because back then, there was no social media. There was nobody excuse me, leaking what, hey, look, they're building to this. There were no voices. So you had to go into it thinking whatever you were thinking, watching whatever you were watching, and that was it. You had no outside noise. And so no one gave that away. I think everybody kind of had an inclination that Cena might turn, but maybe he won't, but maybe he will. It was kind of one of those things that was split. Hogan didn't see that coming, but to me, it's Austin at WrestleMania 17, sharing a beer over The Rock's body with Vince McMahon in the middle of the ring. That was crazy. So
Absolutely
yeah, I think
savage.
unquestionably, those are the three in whatever order you have them. But I'd go Austin
Look,
personally.
growing up in the wrestling world that we grew up in, you didn't have social media, you didn't have the dirt sheets, you didn't have everybody posting online about what their thoughts, opinions were.
Right,
You had to watch the pay-per-views and the regular week shows to get an idea of what the storylines were like. And like Chris
right.
said, you would have to go into it basically with an open mind. And your interpretation is your interpretation, you know? And I think that we from the wrestling world have really strived away from that. And I mean, it's technology and we're going to grow, but that's a whole different thing for another time. But that's a great question. Yeah,
It
keep those
is. That's a
questions
good one.
coming, because that definitely is a scratch the head question. So, our at Lone Wolf 0619, he asked, "Do you think Cena is going to retire with the WWE Undisputed Championship, or do you think he's going to lose it, and to whom?" Predictions. Very good question. Um, if you want my honest opinion, that's a big hell no, brother.
You want a piece of this, Pops? Come and get it!
And let me say it loudly for everybody in the back. He is not. He is not. And this is just my opinion. But he is not leaving the WWE with that WWE Undisputed Championship. Call me, call me what you will, whatever. He's not leaving with that title. Boo hoo, cry about it later, go have a boo day in your corner, but he's not leaving with that title. My prediction, of course, I was wrong at Backlash, and we'll get into it. I was wrong, but I really, I really think Cody's coming back and taking the title. I mean, it's kind of written in the stars, so to speak. Cody's going to come back for his redemption, take his title away from John Cena. Or what we've been saying for months, The Rock might finally get involved. The Rock might finally say, "I'm taking what's mine because you're my bitch," right?
Right.
So something's got to give. That's my opinion, but that man is not leaving this industry with that title. Come hell or high water. And I'll say it loudly for everybody in the back and get offended, sad, whatever. Go have your boo day. Carry on.
Yeah, as of this moment, I'm in line to agree with you. The title thing, I'm not positive on, but what I am positive of is that he will not retire as a heel. We've said that multiple times on the show. He will not go out as a heel. Now, he may retire with the belt, but there's gonna be a face turn at some point. Whether it's with the belt, whether it's without the belt, I don't know. My inclination is to say no, and I think one of three scenarios is possible. And when we talk about backlash, I will, I want to, I don't ask for this, but I want to have the floor for a few minutes when we get there because I want to address the public about this John Cena thing But anyway, I think the Cody one makes the most sense. I also think The Rock getting involved makes a hell of a lot of sense. That's been my thought from the get-go. But I think if The Rock gets involved, I think Cody comes in. So I think those two can be mashed together. I also think that Roman Reigns is a distinct possibility. I also think CM Punk has a case to be the one to do it. I think there are multiple people that could end up taking the belt off of Cena. Who it's going to be, I don't know. But I'm inclined to agree with you. I don't think at this point, I can't see him retiring with the belt. At this point, I don't see it.
Well, we got 25 more appear. We got 25 more things of John Cena going to for us to find out what is going to happen
Yep.
next. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's no doubt about that.
See what happens. But yeah, great questions, everybody. Don't forget to ask a question. Even if you don't have a question, you just want to say something, it might appear on this show. Maybe, maybe not, but it probably will. So don't forget, ask those dumb questions. They're not really dumb questions, they're good questions. So let's move forward. Um, let's go ahead and recap last night briefly. I think we can cover that briefly. Monday Night Raw was very interesting. Started off quick. CM Punk came into the ring. CM Punk was talking on the mic as per usual. And Paul Heyman came out. Of course, CM Punk called him Penguin and told
A
him to come
penguin.
stomp down to the ring with purpose. And then, of course, Seth Rollins comes out. And his coat this time, I'm gonna say, kind of looked like a coat from the Matrix, like someone from the Matrix would wear. So,
Gotta love it, man.
we strayed away from grandmother's couch to the Matrix. So
Gotta love it.
live your best life, Rollins.
How can you not like Seth Rollins, man? He's great.
Of course, they have their dog, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's in a nice little suit. And of course, he sicks the dog on CM Punk. CM Punk says, "Are you going to keep barking, little dog, or are you going to fight?" And then they start fighting. And then, of course, the numbers game comes into play. And then we get Sami Zayn come in and we get Jey Uso come in, and chairs are all over the place and bodies are kind of going all over the place. And living for whatever this is, I'm living for it. Whatever is happening between CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso, absolutely living for it. I think it's great. The storyline so far with this, that it just you have CM Punk, you have Sami Zayn, and you have Jey Uso. They all have some kind of connection with Seth Rollins.
Right.
And right now, Seth frickin' Rollins is a little peeved because, of course, he wanted the title last week, and Jay gave him that title opportunity. He was kind of manipulated into it, like we spoke last week. And he lost the belt because CM Punk said, "Screw you. You're not getting this belt. Over my dead body, it's not happening." Kudos to Punk. Um, he said he was in phase two. Phase three was him getting the title. Stay tuned. Pretty interested to see what happens next between these men. But great start to Monday Night Raw, I think.
Yeah, look, this is it is turning out to be a really, really, really well written story because now there are some forgotten elements to this whole thing. Like I think like Sami Zayn, people kind of forgot about him, and now he's just automatically reinserted into this thing. And look, you can put Sami Zayn into anything, he's going to make it work, right? He's just that kind of performer. And so now you've got Sammy and Punk teaming up against Seth and Braun at Saturday night's main event. which is going to be a barn burner of a match. Okay, it's four outstanding wrestlers in the same ring. It's going to be tough to beat. Um, but I think the real story for me, obviously, Punk has it out for Rollins. Rollins wants the belt, but Jay is busy with
Gunther.
Gunther still, and he's got Logan Paul. So Jay is being pulled in all of these different directions. To me, that's the real story, is Jay Uso. What's most important to Jay? Is it the belt? Is it being loyal to your friends slash family people that were there for you? Is it your personal rivalry with Gunther? What is most important to you? And I think we're going to start to learn more about Jey Uso the person and where his priorities are as champion. I've got no doubts that he handles Logan Paul. Okay.
Mhm.
But I've said on this show, the last episode, Jay and Gunther are not done. And sure enough, here we go. So interested to see what happens with those four guys. Like you said, let's remember that I would remind everyone that there is a missing element to this whole deal right now. Okay. And we all know who that missing element is. And when he comes back, all hell's going to break loose. And that's Mr. Roman Reigns. Because let's remember, he got screwed at Mania too. So I think the best is yet to come of this situation. And yeah, I'm like you. I'm anxious to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And I need to know what's happening with this faction and how this is growing. But I'm sure that's another thing that we can get into at some point is the Seth freaking Rollins and Paul Heyman Rock'em Sock'em connection, the
Yep.
penguin and the grandmother couch wearing, whatever.
The
So
penguin kills me. That's great.
that honestly was the best thing I had heard all night long was CM Punk referencing him to the Penguin. And then all I thought about was Danny DeVito as the Penguin from
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you so much.
I thought The Rock calling Paul Heyman the big fat walrus was enough, but I don't know. I might lean toward penguin. That's pretty good.
Yo, I know CM Punk's never gonna see this, but shout out to Punk. Thank you so much for that, because your girl needed a laugh. That was great. I was like, oh shit.
The penguin. It's awesome.
Anyway, moving on through Monday Night Raw. It was a really good Monday Night Raw. So let me get my recollections correct as to what happened through Monday Night Raw. Oh, we had Penta in the mix, and we had Finn Balor. Let's talk about the Finn Balor match. That Finn Balor match was very, 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 very good.
Yeah, it was.
He went up against AJ Styles. Of course, Judgment Day tried to get into the middle of it, but the Phenomenal One was strong and survived and got through it and kicked ass as he normally does. Penta, of course, hindered the Judgment Day from trying to take a win. Penta's great. The match was great. The move sets were great. Just Finn Balor and AJ Styles working in the ring together last night was
Awesome.
so good. So good.
Beyond.
Kudos to Finn and kudos to AJ. They really, really do an amazing job in the ring.
Well, shit. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just call it what it is. You can't miss with those two. Yeah, that's two of the best wrestlers in the world.
I think they could wrestle broomsticks and it would be a great match,
Thank you.
you know? Um,
And then you throw Penta in there. I mean, come on. That's a joke.
freaking love Penta, man.
How
He
good is
is
Penta, man? He is
Look,
terrific.
he is amazing. I love him. So
Amazing.
just amazing in the ring, amazing presence, coming in and dominating the way that he has dominated so far in
Awesome.
WWE has been impressive to watch. But the match last night between Finn and AJ Styles was great to watch. No
It's
pun
refreshing.
intended. No pun intended, but it was phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, it was so refreshing because it was a wrestling match. Yeah, you had the Judgment Day run interference and all that kind of, but it was a wrestling match. There were
Right.
holds and wrestling moves and suplexes and risks, excuse me, risk taking, and it had all the elements. But again, hard to miss with those two. I mean, and Jesus, shout out Penta because it's very difficult. And people are going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but it's not crazy. I've been watching this 30 years. We both have. For a luchador to break into the WWE with all the momentum that Penta had and to sustain it and keep building and building. And now Penta is a bona fide, I mean, he was before, but now he's got the platform. WWE provides the platform. Now everybody can see Penta and what he does. He is amazing. I mean, he's the best luchador I've seen since Rey Mysterio. I mean, he's unreal. So shout out to Penta for, you know, making it in the WWE. It's not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of expectation. Everybody expects you to be, you know, death defying and kind of like the next Rey Mysterio. And those are big shoes to fill.
Amen.
And Penta is that dude's unreal, man. Anyway,
He also had a great match last night against Chad Gable,
he
which,
did.
of course, where was El Grande
Yeah,
Americano? He
yeah,
was not present.
yeah.
So,
Shocking.
Chad, 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 the floor is yours, homie. I think we all know that ye lying through your little teeth. That tan ain't real. Your muscles look real, so I'll give you that. But you ain't fooling nobody, Chad. We've been talking
Oh,
about this for weeks. We know who you are. Stop playing. Also, if you headbutt another person with metal in your head,
yeah.
something's going to happen to you.
Yep.
Just, thought we'd throw that out there. Continue to headbutt with metal in your head and you're going to injure yourself, but keep on keeping on. That match was great. It did look like Penta had injured a part of his muscle. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like that's disgusting." Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was a great match. And just Chad Gable cannot win with a luchador ever unless he is actually cheating and he is El Grande Americano, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there.
Chad's barking up the wrong tree trying to compete with the luchadors, man. That's a
Chad
different level.
Chad can't even reach the tree. That's a very tall tree. The man can't even reach it.
That's funny.
Can't reach the tree, Chad. Move on. Lord have mercy. The tag team division was red hot last night as well.
Yeah.
You had the War Raiders again fighting last night with, of course, American Made. That was a phenomenal tag match, not gonna say. Um, I'm all for the War Raiders. I absolutely love the War Raiders. They are so decimate in the ring, so dominant in the ring, can throw their bodies around like nobody's business. American Made is good too. I really enjoy watching American Made, even though they are the bad guys. But I like the Olympic style wrestling. It reminds me a lot about Kurt Angle. And of course, New Day, they came out to the ring again, if I remember correctly, and got on the microphone, talked a lot of schmack that they can't probably back up, but they probably can back it up. I'm giving them too much credit. I know the New Day is great. Um, I just don't condone what y'all did to Big E, but that's also neither here nor there. So,
Yeah, War Raiders are one of those. They're a unicorn, man. Like two big guys like that can move around the ring and do the things they do. That's special, man.
just two
Uh,
big, beautiful unicorns moving through the ring.
that's special. I like American made. I'll be completely honest with you. It's it's exactly what you said. It's the Kurt Angle, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn. Here we go again. Chris Benoit, Brock Lesnar type of wrestling. That catch can style.
It's very
So
technical.
it is very much so. Um, yeah, fun to watch, and the New Day. We've gone from bootios and throwing pancakes to the crowd to they're. I am of the mindset that what goes around comes around, and they're not through with Big E, or Big E's not through with them. Okay,
No.
so what goes around comes around.
Yeah, I hope they have enough bootios for when that does come around.
Bootios.
I am so sad that I missed the pancake era of wrestling because
Mm,
I could have been at a SmackDown event and caught pancakes, and that would have made me so happy. And
yep.
that is the most depressing thing ever that I will never catch pancakes in a live crowd ever because they wanted to ruin the fun for everybody because they're salty.
Yep.
That's all it is. God, what else happened in Monday Night Raw last night? So much happened. We had a
Well,
great match with the ladies last night. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley teamed up. Beautiful teaming, just fantastic. They work so good in the ring together against
again, hard to beat those two. You know,
absolutely.
same conversation with Finn and AJ. You can't miss. Yeah, it's like having Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. You can't miss.
No.
They're probably the two best female wrestlers in the world right now. Yeah, certainly in the WWE. I mean, it's you put them in the ring together, whether it's facing each other, whether it's teaming together, whether it's in a pro. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're going to create magic, and they did. It was a great match.
Oh yeah, Roxanne Perez and Juliana definitely just those girls. Oh my God.
Hmm.
S- I th Watching them makes you think that they've been in the business for ever and ever.
It
Amen.
does. I really love. I mean, I like Juliana too, but I
Hmm.
really like Roxanne
Oh, I
Perez.
love Roxanne Perez.
She's really good.
She is phenomenal in the ring. And it was a great match. I think all four of them worked well together last night with each other. And of course, Rhea and Io won, which we kind of knew that that was going to happen. I mean, if it didn't happen, I definitely would have rioted because I think they could honestly be a great tag team just together with each other. And then of course Rhea's holding the belt up
Yeah,
and she's looking at it and I'm like, "Oh, look, she's looking at Io. That's so sweet." And you just
yeah.
see her like glaring at this belt like this is my belt. This
Hmm.
is mine. Becky cut a pretty good promo last night as well. Um,
Listen, man, I I knew I liked Becky Lynch for a reason. She has been gone for over a year. She has not missed a step.
Not at
She
all.
is so she's so raw and so just just talent running through her blood is unreal. And her and Lyra are gonna freaking tear the house down. Like that match has potential to be a tear the house down kind of match.
Oh
If they
God,
do it
yeah.
if they do it right, they can really. I mean, they could have an all timer if they wanted to.
Look, Becky left, had a child, came back, did not miss a beat, wrestled,
Unreal.
just left again for a year, went on her book tour, went and did other things, was being a mom, came back to wrestling, has not missed a single beat
Nope.
in the ring. I thought her promo last night was great. How she interacted with the crowd, I felt like just was raw emotion.
Hmm.
Um, the feeling that the crowd was only behind her because she was a nobody and because they carried her through for so long. And then as soon as she starts winning, then that's when the fans start turning on her because now everybody's, oh, you always just want belts. Well, I mean, shit, you go into the wrestling world, why? You go in there to win titles. So if Becky wants to win another title, let girl win another title.
Well, and look at the stage she is at in her career. I mean, what hasn't she done? She hasn't won the Intercontinental title.
No, she hasn't.
She's won everything else. So, how can you blame her for wanting to go after the one thing she hasn't won?
Right. So, I mean,
I mean, she freaking main evented WrestleMania, for God's sake.
she
Yeah,
was Becky Two Belts.
that's right.
So, I don't know. The haters are gonna hate. It's fine.
They are.
Just continue hating, but please get off the bandwagon if you really are not here for Becky Lynch and you're just here to say you're a Becky Lynch fan, but you're not. Because you're crowding up our bus, okay? Get off.
And look, I think Becky's got the whole thing figured out because after her promo and everything last night, she put a video up on Instagram of her walking in the back. And she put music, a snippet from the song The Way I Am by Eminem. And if you don't know the lyrics to it, just real quickly, the chorus is I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? I don't know, it's just the way I am. Like she's got it so figured out, dude. Like her and this guy,
Just both
say
of
what
them
you
together.
say what you want. They are brilliant. Brilliant. It would not surprise me one bit. We keep talking about this faction. Would not surprise me one bit to see Becky Lynch as part of that faction.
I've been thinking about that for quite some time since WrestleMania, that Becky somehow is going to be in the middle of
Would not
this.
surprise me in the least.
I mean, you would be under one of the best managers in this industry in Paul Heyman. And then, of course, you have your husband, which, look, nothing puts it past both of them probably laying in bed with each other right now, talking shit about what they're going to do next week. Oh, baby, I think we're going to do this next week. That's a great idea. Why don't we do this? And you wear that.
And look, what does it remind you of? You have a very, very, very prominent figure, the leader,
Mhm.
Seth Rollins, who is married to a woman, a powerful champion wrestler woman that has her own place in history. Okay. You've got the meat of the bones, Braun Breaker. And, and then you've got the brains behind it all,
Or penguin.
Heyman, the penguin, right? Heyman. Well, what does it remind you of? It reminds you of the McMahon Helmsley regime.
Yeah.
You had Triple H, who was married to Stephanie, and then the boys from DX, Road Dogg, X Pac, Billy Gunn, all those guys, and Vince, that was pulling all the strings and calling all the shots. It's it's there, you know. It would not surprise me one bit to see Becky as part of this faction.
Well, bring it on. I
I'm
live
here
for
for
it.
it.
I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's go back. All right. So I feel like we've covered pretty much everything with Monday Night Raw. We're going to move into Backlash. I think it's time to cover Backlash.
Here we go.
Take a
Where do we
breather.
start?
Shit, well, let's start at the beginning, I guess. Or we can start at the end.
Well, I feel like we need to cover the biggies. You
Yep.
know, talk,
So,
talk about the ones that need to be talked about.
well, so let's talk about the last match first. I feel like we just got to get it out. Let's go backwards. So John Cena and Randy Orton's main event match, it was their one last time match in St. Louis, Missouri, in
Boy, oh
Randy's
boy.
hometown. Of course, my prediction was wrong, and here we go. John Cena and Randy had an amazing
Oh my
match.
God. Did they
It
have an amazing match?
was neck and neck, back to back. They know each
Unreal.
other so well in that ring. John knows anytime he's going to do an RKO. Randy knows anytime he's going to do an attitude adjustment. It just was back and forth. It was back and forth. Then, of course, John Cena knocks out the refs. Like refs' bodies are all over the place. It is World War III in this ring. Randy, honestly, won that match. The crowd said that he won. One, two, three, done, done. He had that belt, had it. And then, of course, he didn't have it. And then John wins. Randy's mad. He RKO's Nick Aldis, RKO's Jamie Noble, RKO's multiple more men in suits, and everybody else that comes to that ring gets an RKO. Just a phenomenal match.
It was.
I'm going to let you have the floor, friend, because I see that you have a lot of wheels turning in your head.
Yeah, here we go. So you are 1,000% correct. It was an amazing match. And it was um very parts of it were very nostalgic because that may be the last time that we see Cena and Orton lock it up. At least it's advertised that way. I knew Cena was going to win, even in St. Louis. Listen, Cena's got till December, through December. He's not losing the belt anytime soon. The scenario is going to play itself out. We're going to see what happens. Like we said earlier, don't really know who he's going to lose it to or when. The match was amazing. What I want to address is the people at home. And I'm going to look right into the camera. All of you that are at home, if I see one more post, one more comment about John Cena's heel persona is not working, if I see one more thing about, well, Randy should have won the belt, if I see one more thing complaining about this John Cena thing, I'm going to throw up.
Oh, God.
You don't get it. Like, if you're harping on the title, you're focused on the wrong thing. And I'm going to explain why. And this is what I was messaging you about the other day, where there were signs that I hope some people picked up on, but I don't know if they did. So I'm here to do what I do and open up minds here. When you were watching that match, did you remember that it was a title match?
Honestly, no. I thought I felt like I was transported back a few years.
That's the point.
It,
Okay. A month ago, when John Cena won at Mania, that was about the belt. That was about beating Cody and become excuse me, and becoming the 17-time world champion. It was about the belt. Now that he's got it, I said on this show, now that he's got the belt, he's done. The belt now no longer matters because his goal is accomplished. The belt is an object at this point. After the match, John Cena gets out of the ring. And if you haven't seen this, you, you need to go back and watch it. John Cena gets out of the ring, and the belt is on the apron, and he's looking at the belt, and he looks up, and he just stares into the ring. And you can see him thinking in the back of his head, and he was visibly getting a little choked up. Now, if that was put on, if that was a work, he did a really good job on it. It did not strike me as that.
no, it didn't.
It looked real. It looked authentic. It looked true. And what it looked like was that it hit him that, wow, that's the last time I'm ever going to face Randy Orton. That's arguably my greatest rival in this business. And that's the last time we're ever going to lock up. And he keeps looking down at the belt. And he walks off. And he gets up to the top of the ramp. And this is where things start to, in my head, dead giveaway. For the past month, when he gets up on the ramp, he takes the belt and he puts it here, like around his neck, and he walks through the curtain. What did he do this time? He threw it over his shoulder and walked through the curtain. He used to do that when he was a face. Go back and watch WrestleMania matches. When he gets up on that ramp, he turns back to the crowd, then he turns around, and he throws the title over his shoulder. And the last image you see of WrestleMania is John Cena with the title over his shoulder walking through the curtain. That's a big deal to me. That's a sign to me. These people, and then what happened after the pay-per-view with R-Truth.
Or
Okay?
R-Truth.
There's going to be a progression here. We are going to start to see the people that John Cena interact with and face are going to be more and more and more personal to him. Randy, yes, of course, there's a personal relationship there. But for the most part, that relationship is based on wrestling and in the ring. Okay? There's not a whole lot of deep personal, emotional connection there. It's professional respect. R-Truth is different because R-Truth has publicly acknowledged for years and years and years that John Cena is his idol. So now it's personal. for John. I promise you, the next person that gets involved in this, I would be shocked if it was not The Miz. The Miz has a personal connection with R-Truth and has a lot of personal history with John Cena. The Miz and his wife Maurice gave John Cena the opportunity to have the most emotional moment of his career. WrestleMania 33, when Cena proposed to Nikki Bella. That was right after they beat The Miz and Maurice. These things are going to start to get more and more personal for John Cena. And you're going to, here we go, Christina, 2 or 3 episodes ago. This is what I said. You're going to start to see weakness from Cena. You're going to start to sense some regret. Like, did I really have to do this to myself? I mean, it's one thing to beat Cody, but did I have to become this? He's going to start to question himself. You saw it right after the match with Randy. He's sitting on the apron. He's showing emotion. You know who doesn't want him to show emotion? The Rock.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true.
If you're focused on the title, you're out of touch. If you're worried about the belt, you're totally lost. Because R-Truth is not going to beat John Cena. The Miz is not going to beat John Cena. Whoever else he comes into contact with, it's going to be Cody or Punk or somebody big. Okay, Roman, somebody big is going to beat Cena. If you're focused on the belt, you're focused on the wrong thing. So cool it with the Cena heel thing doesn't make sense and it's not working. Dude, watch the show. Look at the little things. It's not really the match itself. Yes, it was great, but it's the moments after the match. It's the little subtle things that he's going to start to do that, like when he threw that belt over his shoulder on that ramp, I went, oh my God, that's 2010 John Cena. Like that's what he used to do after his main event matches at pay-per-views. That's what he did. If you're focused on the belt, you're focused on the wrong thing. It's my opinion. Take it or leave it. I'm off my soapbox.
I mean, I agree with you, and I know I've said it a bunch of times, and I did see that emotional connection that John had outside of the ring and on his way up into the ramp, and we'll see what happens next, guys. We'll see what happens next. I mean, he's got 25 more appearances left. He has until December. We have until December.
Well, and look, here's the thing, and this, here we go. This is a dead giveaway to anybody that's got a clue about this business. You know what the last event that he's scheduled for is? A new premium live event that's going to happen in December. You know what they're naming it?
What are they naming it?
Ruthless Aggression. Sound familiar?
The
John Cena, Ruthless
aggression.
Aggression. Bam! And he slaps Kurt Angle in the face. He started that era. You really think he's not going to be a face at his last pay-per-view called Ruthless Aggression? Come on. Like, people online, like the people that are watching this, you got to have a little bit of common sense. And you got to do the 2 + 2 = 4 thing. Like, it's right there for you. Read it. It's right there.
Well, let's see what happens in the ruthless aggression era.
Right.
But, that was a great match. It
It
really was a
was.
great match.
Brilliant match.
Um, Lyra and Becky's match was
Yep.
phenomenal. You could tell that was an exhausting, not only
Yeah.
mentally, but physically on both women. Lyra Valkyria is just amazing in the
She's
ring,
a
and
stud.
she is doing amazing holding that Intercontinental title as long as she has had it already. Um, Becky definitely got in her head, I think, a little bit at the end of it when she busted up her little face. I don't know if
Hmm.
she broke her nose or not, but her nose did look
Yeah, it looked a
a
little whacked
little
out.
a little whacked out. And by the way, Becky said she went drank some tequila and spent time with her family after that match and didn't go to the hospital. Ruthless. Great match, and I love seeing these two Irish badass women
Yep.
duke it out. Can we talk about that title match? Damian Priest, Drew
Oh
McIntyre,
man.
Jacob Fatu, and LA Knight. That was insane.
Holy crap, dude.
Anytime any of these guys get into a ring, it's pure magic to watch. But Damian Priest taking and throwing Drew
Yeah.
off the top of I would say like little metal cases that they use for rock concerts, right?
Yeah.
If you listen to
Hmm.
rock music and they put all the equipment in there,
Right.
he takes him, he throws him off, and his head bounced off of the concrete. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay, we're definitely going to be in concussion protocol.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was crazy. Jacob Fatu retained that title, and Jacob is just, God,
Stud.
that man is the GOAT.
Stud.
He is an
I
absolute beast in
yep.
the ring.
Yeah,
Absolute beast.
I kind of called that on the I don't remember if it was the last episode or the episode before, but when that match got announced, I'm like, dude, that match is gonna absolutely steal the show.
Uh-huh. It was
And
the last
it
episode.
and it did. It was awesome.
That was a great match. I think that's one of the matches that stands out for me the most. And then, of course, Dominic Mysterio retained his belt against Penta. That was a great match,
It
too.
was.
That was a back and forth between one of the best luchadors in the business. And then, of course, you have Dominic Mysterio, who just has grown so much in this
Yes.
business and in his time of wrestling, not only just on the mic, but also in the ring. Their match sets between each other were great. I really enjoyed watching them wrestle. I hope that they wrestle again. And poor Pat McAfee. But
Oh,
God,
yeah.
Pat really surprised me in that ring. I didn't think it would last that long. And you have Gunther doing this to Pat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was
Like
pretty cool.
that was the one little snippet that I got to watch. I had to go back and rewatch all the
Yeah,
Backlash. No.
Pat's a freak, man. He's a great athlete.
He had a busted eye blood vessel too when he
Hmm.
came to Monday Night Raw yesterday. That's just such a great match. I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm probably not. I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
Yeah. God, what else in wrestling? Want to do a SmackDown review? Don't have to do it.
Well, look,
I mean, I did not watch SmackDown, so I'm sure it was a
oh,
great Friday night.
it was nothing crazy, but again, you follow. It's so difficult to follow WrestleMania with storylines that make sense if you ended a storyline at Mania. Like it's a tough turnaround. They've done a really good job with it. I just SmackDown. SmackDown need see we're coming to a we're coming to a crossroads here on SmackDown, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Uh because you don't have Roman and Cena's a part-time champion. So it's one of those things where if neither of those elements is there, it's tough to have that draw. Monday Night Raw's got CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Cody's gone. So when's Cody gonna come back? Don't know. I I truly believe that this whole Cena thing, there are going to be so many things that branch off from it that it's all going to come. There's going to be so many things that branch off of it. And at the very end, everything's going to come full circle and it's all going to make sense to us. I am, I was very skeptical for weeks and months about the Cena heel thing. I'm still not overly thrilled that it was at the expense of Cody, but I get it. And it's turning out to be really good television. And what happens with Cena and R-Truth now? I got a feeling we're gonna find something out on Friday. So we shall see.
Well, Friday Night SmackDown has always been, I don't want to say like the B list, but on Raw, you've always had all the great storylines, all the
Yeah.
great wrestling matches, all the great wrestlers have been on Raw. Now you've had great wrestlers on SmackDown too, but I've always thought SmackDown was like it
They're
was the
definitely A and B, for
second,
sure.
yeah. It would be like your A team and your B team.
For sure.
Um, I am enjoying seeing what I'm seeing with Aleister Black
Yeah.
back on
Hmm.
SmackDown. Little snippets that I do get here and there. Alexa Bliss. I watch snippets, guys,
Well,
okay?
she looks good in the ring, man.
She is
God.
amazing. I love her
Yeah.
so much. Alexa Bliss came back with Selena Vega. That's about it. That's all that I watched. I go through Instagram Reels for Friday Night SmackDown. But football season's about to be in, and I can watch my Friday Night
It's
SmackDown.
it's getting there.
Unless anybody has any ideas on how I can watch SmackDown on Netflix. I know there's a
I
way,
I
okay?
I I might.
I've been watching everybody post about it, okay? I know
I
there's a
might.
We'll talk later. Oh God, what else? Well, I guess that leads us into Rushmore.
Oh boy.
Look, I am off my game this week. I am literally the definition of hey hey from Moana. Running around, chicken head chopped off, screaming at the top of my lungs, and I'm profusely tired. So, I
I hear
threw
you on the profusely tired thing.
I threw this Rushmore together on a whim, and I hope everybody is here for it because I did this in under 5 seconds. So, shout out to Chrissy for throwing it together at the last minute because procrastination is how I thrive in life. So, I chose heel turns.
Sweet.
Since
Okay.
this was a great question in our Suplex Stupid panel, I haven't really discussed the Rushmore of heel turns, and there's many heel turns. Okay, guys, don't just take this list and roll with it. These are just like my little personal favorites of heel turns in the past 30 years of me watching wrestling. There's many of them, and honestly, share your favorite heel turn. So, of course, we always talk about the Hulk Hogan screw job at Bash at the Beach. He turned on WCW, he turned on the fans, he turned on Sting, he turned into the NWO Hollywood champion. That was one of those things. My brother has talked about this. As a kid, he was always a Hulk Hogan fan, 100% true blue Hulk Hogan fan. He remembered when that happened as a kid, he bawled his eyes out because Hulk Hogan turned. Now, mind you, that was in 96. 95 was when I was born, and also my co-host was born at that time because we are now in our 30s and
Yep.
everything hurts. Anyway, I barely remember it, but I remember snippets, and I remember it catapulting WCW into what it became. And it really set the precedent of the Monday Night Wars. You had DX and you had NWO, and Hulk Hogan was the ringmaster.
Yep.
So then also Dominic Mysterio turning on his dad
Yeah, it's a good one.
by clotheslining him the way that Eddie Guerrero clotheslined Ray when Eddie turned on Ray.
Yep.
And then he kicked Edge in the nads.
Yeah, he did.
Just kicked him in the nads. And Edge goes down and he is shocked that this kid just kicked him in the balls, turned on him and Ray, and went with Mommy to Judgment Day. And now we see where Dom is at. And I mean, the heel turn has been amazing for
Yeah, huge
Dominic.
success for Dom.
I really enjoy watching Dominic not only as a heel, but whatever he does in the ring is just
Yeah.
amazing.
No, he's got it in his blood.
He
That's
is a bona fide Hall of Famer one day.
Yeah, probably so. He keeps
And
going. He keeps doing what he's doing for
yeah.
sure.
And then, of course, you can't not talk about a heel turn without that man that is on Chris's shirt, the visionary, the architect, Seth frickin' Rollins, turning on the Shield as plan. There's always a plan
Always a plan
B.
B.
He turns on the Shield. He takes Roman Reigns out with the chair shot, which he does very, very much on poor Roman. And I feel bad for Roman, but Roman's a beast, okay? So it's fine. Roman comes back and he conquers. But that set up the authority, and that also propelled Seth Rollins further in his career. Him as a heel is very interesting to watch. Now, him as a face isn't bad. I do enjoy a face Seth Rollins, but a heel Seth Rollins, pure gold.
Hmm.
Absolutely pure gold. And then my last but not least is going to be Shawn Michaels turning on Marty Jannetty.
Oh, nice.
The
Good
Rockers
point.
disbanding at Brutus the Barber
Yeah.
Beefcake's little show. He
Yep.
super kicks Marty Jannetty, knocks him out, beats the snot out of him. The Rockers are no more. And we see the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, come into play. And we see him under Sensational Sherry's wing.
Yep. Good pull. I
Great
like that.
heel turn.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
Well,
think a lot of you should go and watch that segment alone. It is a great segment to watch. Also, I do apologize. There is a husky howling in the background with her toys. So,
yeah. So Rushmore of heel turns. That's pretty good. So Austin at WrestleMania 17 for me is number one. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I think you gotta have Bash at the Beach 96 in there. I would throw Cena and Cody in that discussion. Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty's a good one. Hmm. I think my brain automatically pulls me to Um, no, you know what? I love these. My fourth, if for no other reason, because I can't think of anything else right now, is going to be Triple H thumbs downing Randy Orton
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
and Evolution.
That is a good one.
I was trying to, Triple H had so many. I
He's
was
the
thinking about,
perfect heel.
yeah, I mean, I was thinking about him and Shawn when he turned on Shawn in '02 after Shawn came back. They're doing the DX thing in the ring. They're like, let's get ready to suck it. And then Shawn turns and Triple H pedigrees him and JR, what the hell? What the hell? But I feel like and then he looks at Batista and goes, now. And Batista just dropped. That was, yeah, yeah, the evolution heel turn. That would be my fourth. Yeah, I like that.
That is a great heel turn. That honestly,
Not really a heel turn in terms of
he literally took the young prodigy and said,
Triple H was already a heel when he
right,
did that. So it's not really a heel turn on Triple H's part. It's more of he turned Randy Orton face by doing what he did.
yeah. I
So,
I think that's, the heel layer cake. He just
yeah.
was the icing on top of the heel layer cake. He just did the ultimate boss heel move by saying,
Yep.
"Oh well, I'm already the bad guy. I mean, is this really going to make me more of a
Right.
good guy?
Right.
Come on, guys.
So screw it. Yeah,
Thumbs
exactly.
down now. Do it now." Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well,
That would be my four.
I think those are good fours too. Well, audiences, fans, ladies, gents, all beautiful, wonderful people in wrestling. If you have a favorite heel turn, pop it in the comments. If you have a question, if you have a concern, if you really want to go up against Chris in the battle of John Cena's heel turn, pop it in the
Don't
comments.
do it. I don't do it. Been out this game for too long, man. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't stress my friend out. All right. So, I guess that concludes this episode of Chair to Face Wrestling Podcast. Thank y'all so much for continuing to watch. Don't forget to like,
Absolutely.
don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to put those announcements on because you don't want to miss the content that we do have.
Yep.
I will be posting Thursday shenanigans. That is a new thing that I've been doing. Hopefully that turns out well and me talking to myself to a computer screen works good. Also, any ideas for that? Pop them in the comments. You want me to talk about something? Just drop them in the little comments wherever it's at. I'm Chrissy. This is Chris. Thank you so much for joining. Don't hit anybody with chairs. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye.